What's up, agents? This is Muffin Man here again. Revelation Tech on PS4. Today we're going to be breaking down another solo survival run for you. This time we're coming out of the west. We're coming out of the Hudson Yards. Going to show you some of my favorite spots to hit. Going to show you how to carve up the AM track. Going to show you the underground parking garage you see mostly in HVT missions. And then we're going to head over to Times Square. We're going to deal with the landmark over there with LMB that seems to give a lot of people trouble. We're going to hop in the dark zone. I'm going to show you some of my favorite places to hit for Division Tech, some of my go-to places, and we're going to get quite a few hunters popping up as well. So yeah, stick around. There's going to be plenty of action. So let's get into it. Now, this is my first run since the Phoenix Shield has dropped, so I was pretty excited to see a full lobby again. It's been a while since I've seen one. Excited to see what kind of competition there was going to be. Coming out of the west, I'll tell you, it feels like there's a lot more red bars wandering around. You've got to be careful. So I'm going to go select the AM track, get myself a location, know where I'm going. There's a couple ways you can run to the AM track. You can head there. There's a door. It's kind of difficult to nail down the location unless you're really just like, oh, I got to go there. So it's kind of difficult. It's obviously along the track, so that makes sense. But hop out. Now, I didn't make an item of clothing. I forgot about it. However, it's good because there's a lot of good stuff out here right outside the door, and I want to get most of it as I can before somebody shows up. See, somebody already showed up, so party's pretty much over there. So I'm gonna make my way in. Gonna make my way towards my marker. Now that marker doesn't it pinpoints the landmark. It doesn't pinpoint that door that I was talking about. So I have to know what I'm looking for. Now, coming up here in this area, I'm pretty familiar with. You can get yourself in some trouble because there's not an exfil. There's not a location for you to get out of, but there is a number of red bars over here. You'll see when I come up to it over here.
Body temperature is now critically below normal.
Freezing now. There's a barrel over here, which is great. But basically, I've boxed myself in with these red bars. So I've got to nail them down, not let them get in on my side, not let them swarm me. Because they will. They'll keep coming over here in the west. You'll be mowing through them, and they'll just keep coming because mobs will keep. I don't know if they overlap or what, but they'll just keep coming. They'll keep showing up. I'm gonna bounce in and out of some warmth here. So they'll press up on you, and you gotta watch them. You gotta beat them back, if nothing else. Good blue holster there. It's a good start. Get a couple of different get some stamina, get some electronics. Electronics don't mean much at this point, but hey.
Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized. Drop in core temperature detected.
Up over here, pick some stuff up because you never know when somebody's gonna show up and start looting stuff that you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get it, but I'm gonna go get something else first. And somebody shows up and suddenly you lost out. So you want to prioritize certain things. I'm gonna hop up here. There's some tools up here. There's some food there. Want to get some green tools. Want to get some extended mags made. And get my green V12, the X12 scope. So you got to get tools for that. all the while watching that cold meter. You goes quick, especially if you don't have a lot of warm gear. I'm always just kind of stick around this this barrel. I know it's here. You know, you can strike out and hope you find, you know, a barrel later on, but it doesn't always work out, and especially out here in the West when you know, you've got mobs that seemingly come out of the woodwork. It's tough to count on being able to just sprint out and hope you find a barrel. So we got a good submachine gun there. It's pretty stable. It's got some decent range to it, so I'm pretty happy with that pick.
Drop in core temperature detected.
So I'm going to strike out a bit more. Got a car park over here, so in my mind I'm thinking, okay, there's probably tools around here, but we get accosted by a mob.
Give it up already!
Didn't love some good range on the submachine gun.
Warning. Immune response detected. Infection imminent.
So I'm gonna head back to that fire barrel I was at earlier.
Engine body temperature is now hypothermic.
And if it kind of seems like I'm loitering around in this area a little too much, you're not necessarily wrong. But that's the thing about survival games, is it can be, you know, it's pretty organic as far as, especially the very early game when you're just trying to soak up as much stuff as you can.
Detecting lowering of core body temperature.
I run off this way.
Hypothermia increased.
I don't really ever go off this way in my runs on the west side, so it's, you know, there's something to be said for going off into a different direction, you know, finding out what's over there. And if you don't find anything, well, I guess you'll know for later runs, but you don't know what you're gonna find. There's always good stuff, places, you just gotta look. Probably should have drank some water or something here, give them a little more highlight, but I'm doing all right. And especially looking at my cold bar, I'm definitely taking a risk jumping up here, not heading back. I don't know what's up here, what kind of bosses, what kind of enemies. Okay, so we got those, we got some red bars, and we got that fire barrel. So we'll take these guys out first and move some more.
Core body temperature is critically low. Core body temperature.
I'm going to come down
dropping.
here, I'm going to check out this parking garage up here. It's can stay warm in there. I don't know what's in here. But, you know, usually you'd think, oh, well, it's a big place. It must have some tools or something in it. I don't really find much in here, I gotta be honest. I don't know if there's any enemies in here either, so what I did there is I checked my stats just to see what I'm working with, see what kind of damage I can withstand and what I'm dealing with, what I'm dealing as well. Just be cautious. One box of tools. It's, you know, I kind of feel like I struck out, you know, with this location only having one box of tools to pick up. but just got to move on. Now, I don't know what kind of NPCs patrol this street over here, so I'm gonna be somewhat cautious as I can be.
Body temperature dropping below normal levels.
When you're running, I would suggest not running down the middle of the street. You know, as much as you can, if you can think about it. You know, run in proximity to some cover, just in case you need to quick bolt up against some cover. So we got a player right there on my left. So he's going to go in there, and I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to try to put some distance between us so I can try to pick up more stuff before he eventually possibly shows up. Okay, so we've come upon the south side of the AM track here. I didn't realize that at the time, but this is a turf war. I thought they were fighting another player. Turns out to be cleaners and some rioters. But it's really difficult to see down here. You know, obviously with the storm, difficult to see anywhere. But especially down here, it's a long, narrow strip. There's not so many places. You only got one place that you can fall back to. You can't move to a different direction or something, which makes it a little more difficult, especially with a purple rider heavy that'll show up here eventually. On the very south side, though, you know, it turns into a dead end, but there's a weapon back here, some armor. So it's worth, in my mind, it's worth coming back here. It's a shotgun, you know, hey, I'll take it. It's better than having an empty slot. You never know. You can get somebody trying to flank you, swap up, blow them away. Plenty of stuff in box cars. You just gotta look inside them. Okay, gonna drink something before I head out in the cold here.
Core temperature is below optimal levels.
Now I know the further I get down the track, more likely I am I'm gonna come across the mob that's in here.
Warning.
I'm always keeping an eye out. In fact, I think I see somebody right here on the corner. I even aim at it, but I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's making that tick noise when I come across it. But it's just one of those things that, you know, this mode can play games with your head. Think you see something, but it's not really something.
Drop in core temperature detected.
So I'm crossing under the street here, and I know they're going to be up here somewhere. Yep, there's my first red bar. I don't see anybody else. I know they're there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up and try to get as close as I can to him. Try to knock him out quick. Now they will set off traps, and they'll get aggro even though they didn't see you. So that was I got kind of pushed into this one here before I could really decide what I wanted to do, which is fine. To get back here, keep some cover, some good sized cover, keeping some good distance between us, since my weapon is capable of hitting at a decent range. Hit the purple bar as much as I can before he can start unloading on me. And see, there's red bar gets around me. I didn't need to throw that med kit either, but I did. It's just kind of a force of habit. You got to watch it when especially if you're used to playing the game outside of survival. You're used to having that med kit and throwing it. You want to try to fight off that instinct as much as you can. So I'm always watching. I'm gonna watch these grenadiers. They'll throw some grenades at you. Try to get around the side. Popping in and out like that. It's a good thing to do. Reduce the amount of time you're exposed to fire. That blind fire. Down he goes. And it gives me back my med kit, so it's all good. Another shotty. You'll have that in games where you'll just, for some reason, you'll every weapon you drop is a shotgun. You'll get weapons that you're like, come on, give me something I can work with. Give me something I want. That's part of the beauty and the curse of survival mode. It's you never know what you're gonna get. You might, first weapon you drop might be a purple sniper. It's part of the fun. It's making things work. So I've taken out the mobs here. The icon's gone white, so I'm pretty much free and clear to loot the place. There's some caches, some super. I don't know what you would want to call it, but it's got 3 items in it up here that if you're not looking, or if you're not, if you don't look carefully enough, you'll miss. That's one of them. The other one's right here. Rider boxes are unassuming looking things. Now, another way you could hit the AM track is coming in from where I'm going, coming in from the north and coming down. You basically doing that, you don't get the weapon at the north end, and you're kind of forced to hit it with an M9, which can be difficult because you got to deal with that purple bar that heavy. But generally speaking, I mean, I've done that before. I've stayed down here, got shots in where I can. The M9 can do some damage at range. It's amazing once you get used to it how effective you can make it. Go down here, gonna just double check this end. You never know what you think like, oh, there's nothing down there. You go double check it anyway, just in case. It's kind of a good habit to get into. You never know what you might find down there. So that was a taken electronics case. There was an enemy, another player right there. Did not come and get any of this tools though, but I'm just not familiar with it, but he took one of them. You did not see the others. You gotta sort out. You gotta look all around the room. So I'm gonna sort out to head up to a hideout spot up here. I'm gonna make my extended mags, my green scope. He probably came in through this door. This is the door I was telling you about, where it's kind of difficult to run straight to it.
Core body temperature drop.
Now, early game, if you're looking for tools, you'll almost always find tools on top of scaffolding like this. So if you're looking for tools, a surefire thing to do is come up, head up some scaffolding. back up here. Got an explosion over here and some red bars on fire. Take him out. Be very wary of anybody else that's going to be over here. Take some cover until you can sort things out. Right, got some fire. Got a red bar popping up there. Also hear an audible on my right. There's another red bar.
Careful, guys! You lost?
Alert. Infection progress halted.
Nail him to the wall.
Ready as I'll ever be.
I don't know where this red bar on the right went, but he's there somewhere. This guy right here is trying to keep him down. Okay, he's a purple bar. Put some shots on him. On a fairly decent distance, and he's not terribly accurate enough to do some big damage to me. Come over here. All right, there's that red bar. And I also need to watch because that purple bar might have moved on me. I hear him. Another red bar. See, like I was telling you up here, they just kind of seems like they come out of the woodwork. You can aggro different mobs from a single location. They'll just keep coming and showing up. I'm keeping them at a good distance, and the AI just kind of doesn't know what to do with me when it finds somewhere to stand. Just tee off on. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my spoils of war here, and I'm going to run inside, get some fabric. Remember that fabric is big time for end game. You need 3 yellow pieces of fabric to make 1 high-end armor piece, so you need as much as you can get. I'm going to head over to the safe house here.
You are now entering a safe area.
As soon as I can find the crafting bench, I'm going to make 2 extended mags and a VX1, green VX1 scope. You can take that green VX1 scope, replace it with the gray scope you get on any other sniper you drop, and that bumps your headshot damage up quite considerably. It's a good deal. And those extended mags are great. You get into a fight, you don't want your clip running out on you before you can finish an NPC off, so it's a great investment. In my mind. So I take a moment, adjust my gear, tune my gear up, and then break down anything that I'm not using. And so the next places I'm going to take you to here is somewhere that's almost never, it goes under the radar, it's almost never touched by the time I get to it. It's this underground parking lot that you see most times with HVT missions. It's one of those rotating locations where you see HVT missions. You know you've got there. You're there when you get to the ramp. There's also a mid-tier safe room right there that'll tell you you're next to it. Another great thing is if you come down here and this garage is open, you know somebody's in there. It's been looted. You can turn right around, you head back. You can pop that trap, no problem. It will not alert any of these NPCs in here, so don't worry about that. You swing left, you get a bunch of electronics, a weapon, armor piece.
Warning. Vital signs indicate probable infection. Alert. Infection progress halted.
And another shotgun. It's good stuff. So down here, despite the fact that there's plenty of good stuff, there's only red bar enemies to deal with. There's no purple bars or yellow bars. So in that way, I think some people think, oh, that's too much out of the way, too much to deal with. I want to keep moving. But you can come down here and hit stuff quickly and just move right through. And they're cleaners, which, you know, let's be honest, they don't move the fastest. These ones in particular are kind of nuts. You got a sniper up on that catwalk you got to watch out for. Other than that, yeah, these two idiots over here are up on fire. Sometimes you got to wonder about the NPCs. You gotta, I worry for them, you know? But so yeah, I've pretty much cleared the mob out. Just got that sniper to take care of, and well, he's for some reason decided to jump down from his position. So yeah.
Warning. Immune response detected. Infection
So
imminent.
you've got a cache, a cleaner cache right here. It's easy to miss if you don't have if you're thirsty. You're not going to catch it very easily. I'm going to run up the catwalk, pop an incendiary trap, and then there's a weapon on the other side. And another shotgun. Just one of those games. It's all you get. My sniper friend had a machine gun on him. That makes sense, right? But you got another cleaner cache over here on this wall. Good stuff, good stuff. Got some firearms going on there. I'm gonna put my machine gun on in place of the shotty, and I'm gonna do something real fun here. You ever seen a scope on a machine gun? I'm gonna drink some water here just to make sure I get I'm not missing anything. Another random trap there. So yeah, you don't have to turn around and go back out the same way you went. This door right here will lead you down and out, and you can enter the underground parking garage from where I'm headed to now as well. That's a little more difficult to find. Good stuff. Some stamina gloves. Had pistol damage on them though, so not getting any help with that. Now I'm gonna look at these, make sure I've got the stats that I'm best suited for here, because there is a fight that usually happens at the top of this elevator shaft. What makes it difficult is you lose the element of surprise, because there is a trap right here at the entrance to the door, which typically alerts a couple of purple bars that are patrolling this area. There's also a pair of yellow bar cleaners. There's a heavy and a grenadier that you got to watch out for. So this can get pretty sticky. And there's a guy right there. He scared the crap out of me because wasn't ready to. I was kind of prepared to see an NPC. So.
Core temperature is dipped below optimal levels.
And it looks like he or somebody else is taking care of the yellow bar and the purple bar patrol, because kind of head up the way to looking for them. It's a yellow bar patrol that I usually like to pick on. I don't have a sniper for him, but I do have this machine gun now. The heavy won't move too quickly towards you, but the grenadier will. They work pretty well together to keep you on your toes. And then the purple bars on the other side, you'll take them first, but if you get into trouble, you cannot let yourself get sandwiched between them, because they will gang up and take you out. So it's kind of a lost opportunity for points, but you know, hey, that stuff happens. You just got to move on and keep moving. So we're gonna move forward here. We're gonna cross into Times Square. I'm gonna select this safe house up next to the dark zone. I'm gonna move over there and make my my preferred weaponry, my purple SRS A1 and Laveau C. That's what I typically run when I get a chance. When I've got the materials necessary, I will go and I will make specifically those weapons. Every one of these safe houses in this tier have the same weapons. You're not going to find a different set of weaponry at a different safe house, and it'll also stay the same game to game. So you always know you can find these weapons here, so you can make them and you use them and you can feel comfortable with them. There's something to be said for being very familiar with those, because you know, I'm sure you've encountered by now, you get a weapon, you're like, oh, I don't know if last time I used this, and you know, maybe it's a little wily, maybe you're not too comfortable with it and it's difficult fighting with it, but you can come in here and you can make weapons, and you can get used to them, which is great. Now I took and I broke down my stuff I wasn't using again. I converted them all to blues. I'm gonna make my pulse. I'm gonna make pulse and turret. That's what I always go with. I'm looking at my weapon parts though, and I do not have enough to make the turret, Lavoisi, and the SRS A1, so I'm going to hold off on the turret for now. I'm going to prioritize my weapons. And you're going to need 2 purple weapons. You're going to need 8 blue weapon parts. I had 9 there. Had plenty of tools. So what I do is I made those weapons, kitted them out with my extended mags, put the green scope on the SRS A1. Then I'm going to scrape that machine gun and the submachine gun. And that gives me the 2 weapon parts that I needed to make that turret. It's good stuff. Come up here, I'm going to make my base virus filter. I'm going to make my advanced virus filter. Again, you do not technically need the advanced, but if you want to go underground in the dark zone, you are going to need it. Alright, now I'm going to take you to my next couple favorite spots to hit. It's basically the location for the Times Square power relay mission. There's usually a purple bar mob over here, and that's kind of why I'm being cautious here. Usually they're over here somewhere, but I have not picked them up yet, so I don't know what's going on. I don't exactly know their full patrol area, so I'm going to move on and run down here. And it looks like somebody's died here. It could be that they got pushed down here by that particular mob. I know there's typically an incendiary trap pretty much exactly where he died, so I can only speculate what happened to him, but you know, sometimes you get some bad luck sometimes. It just goes to show, you know, if you make some mistakes in combat, you know, it can end up costing you. Come down here, there's a couple of red bars I'm going to take care of. Looks like there's this blue sitting over here. So I don't know if that means the guy was down here and he killed somebody there. I really can't explain can't put together what happened there. And then there's two purple bars down here. Take them out. Then there's that purple bar patrol up above that I was telling you about. Come down here, and there's not too many collectibles to be had down here, but there's a fabric, there's a weapon up here, and as close as we are to the dark zone, chances are it comes out purple. It's not guaranteed though, as you just saw, but especially since I need weapon parts, I pretty much used all the weapon parts I had, and I don't know how many I got off that dead body, but just really need to build that up so I can make my high-end weapons in the dark zone.
Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized.
This is looks like there's an unconscious player over there, right where that DZ entrance is. For now, I'm going to highlight the Times Square landmark. We're going to go give the LMB a visit up there. Now the combat music hasn't faded out yet. I'm not really sure what's going on or why that is. But, you can come up to the entrance to the mission. There's armor and some a weapon here. I do a quick sort. A couple pieces that I got off the dead body. See if anything is worth it. That way I know what I'm dealing with, what I'm working with when I head up to face the LMB. I'm going to throw my pulse here so I can open this door and exit out this way. There's that purple bar mob I was going to keep talking about.
Core body temperature drop.
Pick on them. I wasn't able to drag this guy down out of the way. I'm gonna retreat in here, let the turret do a little bit of work. They end up taking it out though. So I know I've got 3 of them. I'm kind of in a confined spot. Not many places. I can't get around them. I can't really move on them. I'm kind of in a tough spot. I can, just back down the escalator. I've never seen them hop the turnstiles and come down. Looks like he approaches it right there, but moves back, so that tells me I'm probably safe of getting rushed in that way. I've never fought these guys like this, so I was pretty surprised to find right there that you can do damage through there. through that that wall. Apparently, it's just not a solid wall. It's kind of graded. Got climbed up on the. I got my number here. I'll be honest with you, I did not manage this fight very well. And that's, you know, when you're looking at, you know, keeping time, keeping on time, engaging mobs and hitting landmarks and really doing anything with efficiency is a big part of success. Because if you're barely clipped the guy there, you know, if you have a lot of troubles, if you struggle with mobs, you know, you'll find yourself behind. And you got to pick it up, and you know, you take even more risks to try to catch up, and that just invites, you know, that invites failure. Let's be honest. Get my pulse back up.
Dead. Here we go. Gotta reload. Cover me.
This guy's movements very erratic as well.
Here we go.
Warning. Infection progressing.
Losing my patience with this shit.
Me too, bud.
Here we go.
I feel like a lot of those should have probably hit.
Show no mercy. Gonna blast the fucker.
Okay, so I've dragged them both down to low health.
Show no mercy. Here we go. Losing my patience with this
At
shit.
this point, I'm pretty much fed up with it, so I'm going to hop these turnstiles and get a little bit risky here, but again, they're almost dead, so
Drop in core temperature detected.
fooled by the dead body there.
Here we go.
Infection progress halted.
Gonna blast the fucker. Don't let up. They gotta come out of there. Show no mercy.
Take them out. It was way more drawn out than I wanted it, but I did get purple holster out of it, some good gear. So, hey, silver lining. So now we're going to fast forward here a bit. We're going to go up here, take out the Times Square landmark. These guys are stationed pretty much at the end of the power relay mission. It's out in the open. They're not in a building, which does well if you have a sniper, you have a pulse. So I've got him showing up here. I'm gonna go ahead, take him out from range as much as I can. Trying to move towards me. They're out in the open, so you just got to take, you know, you got to take good shots. I was able to take 3 of them out before can really be pushed back. Okay, got one on my left, one on my right. Gonna move back. Remember, just keep distance, keep moving back. They'll pursue you to a point, and if they disengage, you can go right back at them. Okay, there he goes. And I see this yellow bar came right up on my side. You got to watch them. They will move on you. They will flank on you. You got to be prepared for it. I kind of lost sight of that. Got lucky he didn't find me and engage me. So I got my turret down. Pretty lucky he hasn't hopped over and gone after it. Sure, very good distraction there. Did some damage even. And then remember popping up and out for damage, especially with the yellow bar that can put some hurt on you. You want to be in and out. Don't expose yourself for longer than you have to. So that's pretty much that. You know, it made it look a little easy. Got some lucky shots. Got some good shots at the beginning to take out the rusher. Now the meat of the materials to be had at this landmark, or up along the west side. There's a cache right here. You can definitely miss if you're not looking for it. You got some armor pieces, and then you dive in these stores. You get fabric, you get electronics. EMP bombs, you don't really have to worry about too much. They don't do any physical damage to you, but you know, pop them anyway. Just hey, why not?
Warning. Infection progressing. Core temperature is below optimal levels.
Now looks like somebody came up here, got that cache. So I've seen a number of people try to get up there without alerting the LMB. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so we're going to get ready. We're going to dive into the dark zone here. We've got a pretty good amount of time. So basically what I'm thinking at this point is I'm gonna run around and try to show you as much as I can of some different things that I go for. Some locations for division tech that
Antiviral cache tagged and mapped
I
in
guess you might say
zone.
low-hanging fruit. The one individual, he died here. I'll tell you right now, it's probably because he attracted the guys in this landmark right here. These Rikers, that they'll come after you, and there's no way to back out of the dark zone once you're in here. So you really put yourself in a tough spot if you alert these guys. Now, there is division tech at the top of the building, so you can. What I'm about to do here, this rope is really difficult if you're trying to keep from
Warning.
being
Infection levels increasing.
noticed by one of these guys. You go up top, and you will be above them, and as long as you're not making a bunch of noise, you can tiptoe around them. They won't notice you. They won't realize you were there. Remember that any materials box you find in the dark zone is going to give you 1 yellow of whatever that is.
Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized.
Those red bars up top, you don't got to worry about them at this point. It's technically a different mob. You'll see that coming up shortly here. Technically didn't need all these tools, but hey. So I'm gonna run up here and hit these red bars, and you know we are far enough away that we're not gonna aggro the yellow bar mob. So don't worry about, oh, I have to be quiet, I have to, you know, this, that, and the other thing. Take these guys out, no problem. From these yellow bars. There's your division tech, and I'm kind of surprised it's still here. Usually when I make it up here, it's about a 50-50 chance that it's gone already by the time I get here. And that's one thing. You want to keep a number of division tech locations slated to hit, because you don't know what's going to be taken, what's not. You got to plan just in case. You know, if you can have, you know, 5 division tech locations planning on hitting. 4 out of those 5 could have been taken. You gotta be ready. You know, if you've got time to go hit those. If not, you can, you know, you're fighting your hunter with purple gear. You know, it's not impossible. Don't get the wrong idea, but in my mind, it's not optimal. You know, if you're looking for the surest bet when fighting that hunter, you're gonna want the best gear. Now, that hunter spawns in, and it's scaled up to your level, but at the same time, you're able to, you know, hit them that much harder. Either hit them harder or survive damage that much better. I typically do not like to have high electronics, especially since, you know, running the pulse. I don't use it. I'm not leaning heavily on that pulse for crit chance and all that. And the turret, you know, it's pretty much as a distraction for me. So I typically go for your firearms and your stamina, with pressing get into stamina. But a good balance is you know, just fine as well. So here, I've got some division tech. I'm gonna go over to the safe house. I'm gonna make my custom M44. I'm gonna make my cannon.
Warning. Infection progressing.
Coming up here, this is an extraction zone. It's probably one of the most difficult in my mind
For extraction
because it's
is
an
not
even,
detected.
you know, even playing field. You don't know which direction a hunter can come from when you launch a flare. They can come from, there's 4 different, you know, it's an intersection. There's 4 different places they can come from. So there's a player right there probably sorting out some inventory, so I'm going to move, because when he comes out of it, he's going to, you know, he might move my way. I might, you know, I'm going to want to get material before he comes. Fire from him. I know there's a fabric right over here that I'm gonna want. And exchange of pleasantries.
Readings indicate this
So,
area
I'll
is
hop
safe.
in here, run my usual routine, break down anything that I've picked up. Remember to sort out the best gear that you've got as well. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to replace it with yellow gear. You don't know, what might happen. You might not like a roll on an electronics piece or something, and you won't want to re-roll something. Just make sure you've got the best gear to begin with before you start crafting high ends. So I've got those broke down. Gonna run through, upgrade my greens to blues, upgrade my blues to yellows. A good amount of fabric there. I'm going to be able to make a full set of yellow gear, yellow armor.
Flare gun required
Make a
for
flare
extraction
gun.
is now detected.
Probably should have held off and just made a G36 and a custom M44, but I'm going to be able to make the custom M44 anyway, and that's what I'm leaning on out there. Make your high velocity clip. Loud vent brake. Small grip red. All to put on that custom M44. Also going to make my additional med kit pouch at this time. Now I'm going to start looking at armor. Blues get prioritized over purples. You want to watch how your stats fall. There was an electronics piece. If you get a bunch of electronics pieces, you're going to have to watch out. If it's a case where you've got enough material, you can make another one. You can re-roll it. You can break down that yellow one that you just made and reuse the parts. Although diminishing returns means that you can't just keep doing that. Okay, my gloves there did not have marksman rifle on them, so I'm not going to be getting bonus on that. But that's fine. That's okay. It's just kind of a nice thing to have. Okay, I'm gonna scrape the armor pieces that I had on that I've replaced. Put on my cannon. There's that green scope coming in clutch. Like I said, it's a great investment in early game. You bring it forward, keep using it. It really is an order of magnitude. It really hits that much harder with a higher grade weapon. I'm going to take that fabric, this fabric that I had, that I was able to scrape together. I'm going to make gear mods. You can look at, if you're low on firearms but you're good on stamina, make firearms. That's what I'm going to do here. If it comes up and you're a glass cannon, there's not much you can do about it. You can make some stamina mods. improve the situation a little better. It's just another tool that you can use. So I've got 109,000 stamina. That's a good number I'm comfortable with. 59 with the cannon. It could be higher, but you know what? I can make it work as long as I've got the stamina. So there's my antivirals. I'm gonna reacquire those.
Alert. Infection progress halted.
Actually realize that there's a close by Division Tech location I can show you. I can go pick that up and make my G36 and be ready to go no matter what comes my way. So I'm gonna head over here. It's just this little crevice.
Warning. Now entering a contaminated area.
There's a cleaner patrol that I've caught in here before, so be on the lookout.
I've got your location. I'm coming in.
Exiting the
Kinda keep
contaminated
an eye out
area.
for 'em there. Make sure I'm not going to
Warning.
get
Infection
shot in the
levels
back
increasing.
if they're coming my way. There's typically a pretty nasty LMB mob in that building, along with some Rikers next to them, who for some reason just don't see each other until you start fighting one of them. So I'm looking for who's extracting where. Can't really see anywhere, so I don't know what that's all about. Run over here, just kind of look to see if those are Rikers over here. Fight them if they were. Gear caches all over the place. Dive back in, make my G36. I'm also going to want to make a handgun to maximize my gear score for my final score. It's not going to happen right now, but it is on the list of things to do. I've got some weapon parts and some tools left over. I can go and make some weapon mods for the
60 seconds to
G36.
go.
Weapon mods do not count any towards your score at the end. Don't think that, oh, I need to, you know, it'll help me, because it won't. It's as long as you've got a yellow in that slot, that's all that matters towards your score. Now your Division Tech can be converted to weapon parts, tools, fabric, electronics
30
on a
seconds.
1-to-1 conversion rate. So that's also
Warning.
really nice.
Infection progressing.
You can utilize that if you come up short somewhere and you've got plenty of Division Tech.
15 seconds.
Okay, so I am kitted out. Okay, I hear this helicopter out here, so it sounds like it's pretty close to us where that agent was extracting. I see bleeding through right over here on my right. Got an unconscious player, so I'm gonna go over there, see if I can't help him out, see if I can't save him from this hunter, because if that hunter gets to you, he puts you down and you can't be revived, you're done.
hostile in proximity.
Okay, looking. Alright, I've been acquired. Cannon doing work. Alright, there we go. We've got another one. I knew coming into this it was at least going to be a 2-on-1 fight. Hunter's not moving for whatever reason. Take him out. 200's down. Now I'm still getting disrupted, so there is another one out there. I'm not getting disrupted, but the screen's going crazy on me, and I just saw some chat. So I know there's a hunter around that corner. And now I'm just seeing if I can bait him out. I don't want to get too close to him. I want to have options. I thought that did it. It did not. I see this healing cloud going on over there. I don't know what that's about. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I just heard a revive sound go off. There's just a lot going on right now. I'm keeping an eye out on this hunter. I'm also aware that more hunters could pop up. Okay, I'm gonna get my pulse going here again. Okay, I've got him there. He's looking at somebody else right now, so I've at least got another player. We hit him from both sides, take him out.
Get ready to go. We'll be on the ground stat.
I'm gonna help this guy out. I'm gonna get him up and let him just extract.
Don't want to crush you with this bird. Clear out.
His friend or another player shows up here.
30 seconds to lift
Stuff.
off.
I do not have my antiviral, so I couldn't extract even if I wanted to. Now another player just shows up. If the bird is on the ground, his hunter isn't going to show up. So it's a loophole. You know, if you're looking to extract,
Evac initiates in 10
do
seconds.
that.
Get on.
Again, you're going to need that hunter to get the shield. Good
10
helping you,
seconds
gentlemen.
before
Gonna
we're
move
out
on.
of here.
And I get my med kit back. Good stuff.
Evac initiates in 10 seconds. Get
So
on.
that was pretty wild. That was 3 hunters there. You saw the power that the cannon can bring
10 seconds to evac.
from a distance. Get that headshot damage in there. Yeah, you can really chunk a hunter down before they can respond and heal themselves. So we're gonna get back on track here, and after these antivirals. Now there's a way I could get to them down this street, but I know that it's going to be an easier path if I go up one more set of streets. However, I got to go through this landmark of Rikers here, and they're pretty tenacious. They're still there. I saw the purple icon was still there, so I'm going to hit them from a distance, try to whittle them down the best I can. But always moving back. Make sure you're moving back. Don't let them get around you. Not gonna pop out for me. Toss that there. Moving up, so I'm backing out. Now you remember you can keep backing out. They'll keep chasing you. They'll chase you to a degree. They'll chase you to a certain point, at which point they will disengage and head back. That's no problem. You can go up and re-engage them. Catch them off guard again. So it kind of looks like they've disengaged, but I've got them right there just kind of standing around. It's kind of a weird notice system going on right now. Alright, got this guy coming up on my right. I'm gonna keep moving back. I'll wait for my pulse to come up. Pretty sure this is about as far back as they're willing to chase for the most part before they start heading back to their spot.
Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized.
So yeah, it looks like they moved back a bit, so they're coming back to me now.
Don't let 'em hide like that.
Throw that for a distraction.
Boy, away. Oh, wait. Look away.
Alright, good stuff.
Warning. Infection levels increasing. Alert. Infection progress halted.
Okay, so I dropped a performance mod here. I'm just going to check it out, see what it is, see if it'll help. It won't, so I'm not going to bother with it. It will break down for tools, however, if you're looking for tools. Okay, so now I'm going to come down here. Pretty sure I know what antivirals this is. It's kind of another hornet's nest situation where you can tiptoe in and in and out and get around them
Warning.
without
Infection progressing.
tipping them off. But you got to be very careful. Take care of a couple of red bars sitting outside first.
Alert. Infection temporarily stabilized.
Okay, so I'm gonna hop up these crates here. I got yellow LMB in here. So I'm just kind of waiting for that pulse to come back up. So I can pinpoint where they're at, make sure they're not going to be in a location that's going to compromise me when I go up there to get it. Okay. Looks like it'll be all right. Just gonna take it nice and easy. Not gonna run.
Antiviral cache secured.
Area looks clear to me.
Like I said, in and out. As a solo player and in a confined space, I'm not gonna want to engage those guys. There's not really a good exfil for me, so I'm just gonna leave them. Alright, so heading back south down to Bryant Park, and I just saw another agent there. So basically what I'm thinking at this point is I've already taken out 3 hunters. If he comes up here and extracts, I can get it in on a 4th hunter, because in summary scoring they have what's called the Punisher, which is taking out 4 hunters. So I'm gonna try to get in on that. I'm also gonna show you Bryant Park is probably the second best place to extract. checking the vicinity for any dead players. There's not, so there's no real chance of a leftover hunter being there. But Bryant Park here, in this building up on the second floor, overlooking the extraction zone, is kind of like a sniper perch 2.0. That right there. I'm gonna head up these stairs. It's a location where you can go up here. You can shoot your flare, run up here, and then fight your hunter. And if that hunter takes you down, you know he won't be able to get up to you to permadeath you. You can get yourself back up. Now this guy, I read correctly. He's gonna extract.
Get ready for evac. I'm on the way.
He's gonna make tracks this way. I'm keeping an eye out for our friend.
Get ready to go. Landing right now.
There we go. Looks like we've got 2 here.
Evac leaving in 30 seconds.
Take him out. I'm pretty sure my friend didn't get a chance to get a shot on him. I apologize for that. But so, okay, so I'm bleeding here. I've got another hunter, and he just tossed a sticky bomb at me. I preemptively used a med kit. I don't think it was going to take me down, but I wasn't going to take a chance. Now what I do here, it's kind of a rookie mistake. He puts some shots on me, and I'm up and reloading.
60 seconds to go.
You know, he's got a beat on me. I shouldn't have done that. I should have scooched over and try to get a different position, even though you don't have much room over here on the right. Just any way you can adjust position to try to throw him off, to catch him off guard. But I got bailed out by my friend over there. Looks like he's in a pretty good perch right there as well. Now I'm sticking around just in case another player is coming around. Like I said, there were 2 hunters there. I don't really know what that's about. But it appears it's not going to be the case. So I'm going to make tracks. I'm going to show you a really good spot to pick up division tech and some materials. This subway system entrance, the subway system over here northeast of Bryant Park, goes along the north. It's got basically 2 purples. It's a turf war. It's got 2 purples and some reds.
15 seconds.
And you take them out, and there's some fabric down here, some tools, there's electronics. And there's also 2 boxes of division tech.
Get ready to go. We're putting it down.
So you got your tools in that room. There's the other purple bar.
30 seconds left to get on board.
Alright, nobody left down here. Electronics in this room.
We'll be in the air in 10.
Come down these stairs, around the corner, around the side, to the back. There's you've got first box of division tech. Come across here,
Hello is in
find
the
some
air and on
fabric.
our way.
Find another box of fabric over here. Okay. Only agent remaining. Pick up some water, some soda. Stock up. The more you have, the better your score. Got a weapon cached there if you're still needing. So basically, you come in that door we just went in on your left, and you go in another door on the left, and you've got your second box of division tech. So you got four total pieces of division tech. That's pretty good value for only having to fight 2 purple bars and possibly some red bars. Come back up here. This is a pretty amusing encounter I have right here.
Infection.
Did your shield go, bud? It's not a good day. He's got a friend. And over here, you got some tools, and there's a door right there. This is part of a much bigger complex. You can get lost in here. Honestly, I've done it. You can go find a landmark over there with some pretty nasty named boss. But in reality, this is all I stick to. I go down there, get that extra box of division tech, and then I round it back out up here. The 2 vending machines passed. And I flip it around. Another box of fabric. And remember, you're going to need the advanced virus filter if you're going to want to come down here. Now, always pop a pulse when coming out of here, because there could be a patrol coming around. You never know. All right, so I've got some time, so I'm going to come down here. I'm going to pay Angry Machine a visit again. Saw my first run, and he ended up kicking my ass and almost killing me. I thought I heard an audible on the right over here. So I'm kind of wondering if there's somebody back here. I take a look. I don't find anybody. Okay. I head back here. This is a regular DZ entrance. And looks right here, you got another box of division tech. And you only really had to fight a couple of red bars to get it. So keep that one in mind. If you're in here, you're scrounging for some division tech. Alright, boys, remember me? Now these guys are tough because they will advance very quickly. The big man's got a pretty big arm. Throw a grenade all the way down towards me. I try to keep them contained in here. Works for a little bit. Smoke grenade ain't gonna do much. Big man's coming through. Not able to pop his container. I got one yellow bar coming around the right side. And they're gonna they're gonna lay into me here. So I'm gonna back out. Again, you can keep moving back. This is a pretty good street. There's some red bars down here. If this street hasn't been touched, there's some red bars you got to worry about. But other than that, it's a pretty good street that you're able to keep moving back on, and face these guys and really draw them out. So big man's gonna run over, kick over my turret. claimed 2 of them. And then the big man, he's a tough nut to crack. At this point, I look at my time. I'm gonna have them disengage. As you see, you don't have to go terribly far before they just completely get out of town. I'm gonna head in that safe room right there, and I'm gonna make my handgun to complete my high-end loadout for my gear score, maximum points, an additional armor mod, and my the med kit that I use. You can use a high-end fabric to make a med kit within the dark zone. So I also replaced that med kit. Okay, so we're gonna pop a flare.
Evacuation helicopter approaching.
Hostile inbound.
Okay, so we just spawned a hunter. I was under the impression that this wouldn't happen, but you know, this isn't a situation I've been in. Now, what I'm surmising is that if you're the one that pops the flare and you end up killing him, you've taken care of your hunter. But if you show up at somebody else's popped flare, you will still have to take care of a hunter if you go elsewhere. If you extract right then and there with that group, you'll be fine and dandy. But if you go to extract somewhere else, you're going to draw another hunter. You can probably use this to draw out multiple hunters in a match if you're in a group. You're trying to take care of this quickly. The hunter requirement. This hunter right here, not very smart. He's just going to sit right in my crosshairs. Well, some cleaner chargers that patrol this street, not terribly bothersome. See if they'll come back to me. I can pad my score. Hey, they came home. He's ready for that double kill. We'll get a look at our hunter friend here.
60 seconds to go.
Wearing the Stygian mask you can get for killing 100 hunters. It's in the combat commendations. Now, what I'm doing here, this food here,
Landing
you want to take
initiated.
your food and some water, make your hunger score, your thirst score 100%, maximize your points. Since I had that food down there,
30 seconds to evac.
It's the little things, you know. So yeah, that is that. Came out of the west, out of the Hudson Yards. There's a couple other places you can head to out of the west. You can head north to McCaffrey Playground. That's a tough nut to crack. That's 4, 5, 6 Rikers, maybe 7 Rikers, and they
Hello, returning to base.
they will pursue you,
Here you made
make
it out,
it
Agent.
difficult.
We've got some
And
stories
I
to
see a
tell.
lot of people
I'm not even sure what to
go
know.
down to that mob.
See you back here. Good work.
So there's places you can go. Just you got to keep looking in crevices and places and keeping an eye out for enemy combatants. Okay, so got myself a new personal best. As you see here, extracted 4th. I helped 2 of those extractions. Well, I helped 2 and 3, and I was 4. Wasn't too worried about it because I came back in and got a lot of points. 163 gear score, maximum points there. Survival time an hour 46. One player revived, and I did not get Lone Wolf because I revived that player. Now, I got 200 points for that revival, but I lost out on 700. So technically, I'm out 500 points. So keep that in mind if you're looking to be a good Samaritan. I know I like to do it because it's karma. See, there you go at the bottom, second to bottom. Punisher, 1,600 points you get for taking a minimum of 4 hunters. Fought quite a few yellow bars inside and outside the DZ. Well, just one outside the DZ, I guess. But yeah, so there's
Readings
that.
indicate this area is safe.
I'm thinking about making some videos if I get out, if I make runs through the southeast to southwest through Camp Hudson and out of Stuyvesant as well. I take a different route when I'm in the heart of Stuyvesant. But let me know if you want to see something like that. If what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, just leave me a comment. I'm gonna pop my accommodations, my shield here. I'm gonna show you. Now, I got credit on this for 4 out of 5 hunters. Now, what that tells me is I got the final shot on 4 of them. I fought 6. So this tells me that you need to put the final shot on that hunter. You can't just be in a group and mob that hunter and you all get credit for that hunter. So keep that in mind. That's another reason to play solo. Looking at this, I apologize to those guys that I pretty much stole their hunter kills. Wasn't my intention. I didn't know. But yeah, that's all for this run. So I will catch you later.